Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Wow, I feel like a dinosaur. It's literally been a year since I uploaded a video. Things have changed. I'm actually in my garage, also known as my business. I'm still trying to get my business up and running. For you guys who don't know, I'm Melissa. If you're new to my channel, I am and have a brain injury after using benzodiazepines as an anti-anxiety med that I never abused and I did not know was as horrible as it is and was to part from it, so to speak, and also that it stopped working and it caused all of my issues that I'm still dealing with 4 years and 8 months out. So, little backstory, because I know there may be some new people to my channel. I now am about to be 44. I was put on 0.5 milligrams of Ativan back in 2015 after a total hysterectomy that I had. I had some previous, I wouldn't say health issues per se. I had some previous things going on that I didn't know were histamine and mast cell related at the time. So I have had those issues before benzos. I didn't realize anybody can have mast cell and histamine issues at any point in our lives because it's just something that runs through our body every single day. And at any time, it can cause mayhem just by not reducing it in your system. So I had a total hysterectomy in 2015. I was 35 after my son, who was almost a year at the time. And then I was put on benzodiazepines because they kept saying that my histamine, which I didn't know then, was all anxiety, which actually it wasn't. So I was on benzos from 2015. At some point, 8 months down the road, they stopped working and I had all these crazy symptoms that I knew could not be possibly my body doing them. They were just too chemical. They were just too, there was just no way. So I found out 8 months into being on Ativan, the strength, and it stopped working. So I got really, really sick, didn't know what was going on. And due to not being put on them by psychiatric, which I'm so grateful for, that I just did my research and I landed into the groups. And that's when I realized that everything I had been going through for those whole 4 years were all Ativan related. So then I started a taper in 2019 for a whole year. I did a water titration. I do have a video that I can link below that explains, if you're new with all these benzos, it truly explains like what it is, how you taper. Just a disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I am not a professional. I can only share my experience with other people and let people know how I successfully tapered off from Ativan. Was it easy? No, not at all. Not at all. So, I'm here a year later, coming back and doing another video, 4 years, 8 months off. So everybody always asks, what are your symptoms? Well, histamine and mast cell play a large role in everything that I've been going through, from starting my taper to finish to being off. I can't stress that enough to people, that the people who don't believe, my videos may not be for you, but for people who are noticing, you go into the store, you start feeling dizzy, the lighting is too bright, the smells are too strong, you almost feel just disconnected, you feel wobbly, you feel like, you have to leave, it's just too much, it's overwhelming, you feel overstimulated, you feel like, you know, your neck is tightening. It feels like your airway wants to close. Like if any of those symptoms you're feeling, please know that they are all histamine and they are all mast cell related. I just got done kind of graduating, so to speak. I worked with a specialist of histamine and mast cell for almost 5 years. He's also benzo-wise. He knows all about psychiatric drugs. So he's really given me, sorry y'all, I had a little pop up on my phone, but he's literally giving me everything that I know, everything I've also learned from other people. All of my knowledge is just based on going through it myself, working with specialists. My specialist knows all about benzos, talking with other people who've never been on a benzo, who have histamine and mast cell issues, where they come from, how they happen, et cetera, et cetera. So just sharing, you know, information and basically my life updates. I look a lot different. I actually went ahead and lost a lot of weight. Muscle mass. I'm trying to find ways now to incorporate working out without raising my histamine, because histamine raises with everything. Intimacy, working out, stress, foods, chemicals, whatever have you. So it's like almost like the boy in the bubble. You have to find ways of living with this. Not everyone will have histamine and mast cell forever. Me, unfortunately, I carry a mutation that I didn't know about until I got sick. And for me, I probably will suffer and struggle the rest of my life unless I stay on the path that I'm on. So again, you'll go through the symptoms of it, you'll have them, but they're not permanent for everybody. For me, my body just doesn't like certain things, and unfortunately the benzos kind of altered my DNA, so to speak. So my body now is just full blown, and I have to treat my body and my person a certain way to avoid a lot of symptoms, if that makes sense. So getting into my symptoms, I'm doing a lot better. I actually cut all my hair off. My hair was a tragic mess. I don't know if some of you guys remember, and I don't know if I posted a video on it, but at one point, you know, I could barely make like a ponytail, and I've never in my life of 44 years almost had thin hair. So I chopped all my hair off. We're starting new. It's a lot more healthy. It's coming in thick again, believe it or not. I never thought it would. Some of it is too just me getting older. You know, so not a big deal. I am on a clean diet, a cleaner diet, I should say. I've been doing a cleaner diet for almost 5 years. I incorporated, when I could tolerate them, probiotics, vitamin D, and a special kind of vitamin C, which those are all natural histamine stabilizers. So they help balance my body. Along with food, and I've gotten rid of excessive chemicals. So what I mean by that, I don't burn candles. I don't spray fragrances. I don't spray room fragrances. I don't use any type of chemicals that I used to use because my body does not break them down properly. And due to that, whatever I eat, whatever I'm spraying around myself, all has to get digested and broke down by my liver. So being that I don't, it just makes me feel anxious. It makes me feel anxious. It gives me anxiety. Sometimes my neck will swell up. I feel like I'm having a hard time breathing. What else? My eyes will water, my eyes will burn. Those are indications that wherever I'm kind of at the moment is not a good place for me. So also I'll get a lot of like air hunger, feeling hard to breathe. I just don't feel well. Same goes for foods. If I eat the wrong foods, I feel so exhausted that I'm like in a sleep coma. If I eat the wrong foods, I can feel inflammation like in my neck. I can actually press on my skin. As you can see now, I'm dealing with some inflammation, not as bad. Normally when I'm inflamed, I can actually press in my skin and you can see my fingerprints hold on for a very long time. That's how I know my histamine and inflammation is through the roof. Couple of reasons why you don't want inflammation. Inflammation makes your organs go crazy. Inflammation can cause organ damage. We don't want that. It causes inflammation in the brain and the body. We want to avoid inflammation at all costs when it comes to our bodies. So for me, the diet, the cutting the chemicals out, I actually have an app that I will link below. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm moving a little bit. I'm in a moving chair in my garage and I had to cut some of the lights down because today I did do a takeout the other day, which I should know Melissa don't do, and I did, and I'm suffering the repercussions for it today, mentally, my sleep, all of that stuff. Excessive yawning, daytime yawning, all that stuff. So I kind of regret doing that. Sometimes we just want to be normal and we just want to eat things and do things. And when we do, we just feel really crappy. So again, I won't do that for a very, very long time. So I'm kind of back on Allegra and Pepcid, back on kind of cleaning out my system, so to speak. So with that being said, and I'm sorry if I'm all over the place, you guys. It's been a while since I've been able to sit down. A lot has happened life-wise. I won't get too much into it, but I'm trying to kind of like rebuild my life, rebuild my family. So I'm just kind of all over the place. So basically, in 4 years and 8 months that I've been off, I've noticed a huge change. It's been real, real bad. It's been real, real good. It's been real, real bad. It's been real, real good. So for people who think that something is wrong with you, I cannot say this enough. If you're feeling like I'm off longer, why am I feeling this way? I'm going to be real with you. You're going to feel horrible. There are going to be some days where you just feel horrible, horrible, horrible. And that's normal. I know that sucks because it's not normal to be sick. It's not normal when we don't feel good. We normally take something or we get better. Our body starts to heal. Remember, you've gone through something life-altering. When you go on psychiatric drugs or you go on, whatever it is that you were put on, your body goes through life-altering changes. Your hair, the way food tastes, the way that you see, your vision, your weight, your muscle mass, your skin changes. Like, if I could tell y'all, everything has changed in my life, and there's not one thing that has not been affected by going through benzodiazepines. Nothing. There's nothing that has not changed. From losing my eyebrows to my hair to losing my teeth, my muscle mass, my face shape has changed. It's uneven. It's not asymmetrical. Everything, my skin is starting to feel like skin again. Dehydration, there's so many things that I could list, you guys. Like, it just affects everything from your thinking to your perception to your balance to your skin to your hair. Like, legit, everything is affected. Everything. And I'll tell you why. Because benzos act as a mast cell stabilizer. They affect everything. They act as an antihistamine. And as an example, if you were to take an antihistamine every single day, such as Allegra, Pepcid, whatever it may be, and you got off of it, your body would start reacting in ways where it's not good. It's not good because your body isn't fighting every day. Your immunity isn't being exposed to things every day. It's not decreasing your histamine. It's actually just blocking it. It's blocking it. And that's why we're able to just do whatever we want on benzos. We're able to go out drinking. We're able to go do certain things that maybe would normally affect us because it's just a protection jacket. But the problem being is once it stops working and the effects are not as extreme and they're not there, and now everything starts to wear down, it's no longer there to protect you. And you're natural. So this is where I think a lot of people maybe don't understand me or think maybe I'm lying, which again, I would never give false hope or false information to anyone. All I can tell you is, for those of you who are confused, because I was, about histamine, your body is designed with mechanics to protect you every single day. When you put toenail polish on, your liver digests all of it. It goes through your liver. When you're breathing in chemicals outside, how do you think people get cancer? By working in factories, that they're inhaling maybe asbestos, or they're inhaling acetone, or some people in the nail salons who are nail techs and they're inhaling all these things. Normally, your body is supposed to protect you from all these things. It's there to protect you. But when your body is overloaded already with histamine, and your natural enzymes in your stomach and in your body can't break that down, histamines and chemicals, and I really should say it's when your histamine rises. So there are histamine foods that are liberators, histamine foods that raise histamine, and chemicals will raise your own natural histamine. Also, medications will rise your natural histamine. Getting a cold raises your histamine. All of these things raise histamine in the body because histamine is there to protect you. It's when your body is overloaded with it and your body can't break it down. So like, let's say today, my body is not breaking down histamine. I already have medical proof of that due to benzos and due to my mutation. So today, let's use an example. We're going to add high fermented foods. Sour cream today for lunch. We're going to add in stress for the day. I've got all this stress going on. Your body's to repair itself. So mast cell mediators go to the site of healing you when you work out, when you're sick, when you're stressed, when your body has too much histamine. That's what it's there to design to do. It's there to break it down and get rid of it. And you get rid of 90% of your histamine through your urine. So I'm adding all these foods in today. I'm adding peanut butter, things that I know for me in my healing that are bad for me, that make me feel a certain way. We all have our own triggers. So what happens, my body cannot get rid of this histamine. It's going to continue to build, and it causes anxiety. It causes foggy thinking. You have histamine receptors in your brain, in your heart, in your lungs, in your gallbladder, in your bladder, in your kidneys, all these places. So if my body can't get rid of all this, it's almost like someone having iron overload or somebody having diabetes. Their sugar isn't breaking down and it's raising and it's raising and it's raising. What does that do to you? It makes you feel horrid. Unfortunately, though, with histamine, it affects everything from your thinking to your ears, to your hearing, to your balance, to your smell, to your taste buds, to your heart. People start getting palpitations. People start getting akathisia. People start to feel like they can't breathe, like there's an elephant sitting on their chest. The symptoms go on and on and on and on, and they even come in forms of mental health. I was doing so much research in 5 years, I didn't realize that 90% of depression comes from your body not being able to break down histamine in the body. I didn't know that. I had no idea. No idea that this caused all of this. None. And I'm going to be real with y'all. When I first started hearing people talk about, foods and things like that in group, I did not believe any of that because I'm like, how in the world does a mango literally cause me to be crazy all day? Are you serious? This is real? No joke, you guys. I'm telling you. I will never forget this. When I came off of benzos and I didn't know anything about histamine, and this is like I said, proof that foods can do so much in chemicals. I ate a Swedish fish. Do you guys know what those are? I grew up eating them. I lived next to a penny candy store when I was little. You know, it's a Swedish fish. I mean, what harm is a Swedish fish? I ate it. And I kid you not, you guys, in like 20 minutes or so, my heart rate literally went to over 150. I thought I was going to die. Like, I am not kidding you guys. Like, I was like, what the actual is going on here? Like, I literally was rushed to the urgent care. I didn't know what was happening to me. I don't have, food allergies that I know of. Nothing is ever, I grew up in an Italian home eating tons of seafood, tons of red sauce, tons of pasta, tons of all kinds of stuff. My grandparents always cooked feast. That's just what I grew up with. But no, like, foods can do so much to us, even with never being on a benzo. So don't think just because we've been on benzodiazepines, there are people who are in group with me that have histamine and mast cell issues who've never been on psychiatric drugs. It's just as bad. Like, I'm not kidding. So for them, it's just as bad. But it's just so weird seeing the connection, how so many doctors will put people on benzos. Some people in these groups were put on benzo. So the opposite of us, we came off with all these issues. I see so many people being put on benzos to counteract mast cell issues. So there's a link there. There's no way doctors are just sticking you on hydroxyzine and sticking you on Ativan and, Klonopin and all these other benzodiazepines if there's no link to mast cell and histamine. Do you see what I'm saying? So it preys on it when you take it. And when you're given it due to having mast cell and histamine issues, for whatever reason it is in that part of your life, there's a connection. You just can't argue facts. So getting back to kind of everything, I've learned my triggers. For me, I know we're all different. I do, as I stated, have an MTHFR mutation. It is known to cause ADHD, mental illness, as well as histamine issues, which cause those issues. So for me, I have to stay away from hydrogenated oil, which is vegetable, tons of canola, safflower, sunflower oils, peanut oils. What happens is my body doesn't break them down properly, especially due to the benzo now. That's kind of altered and ruined a lot of the way my body used to process. And it internalizes it because it's full of omega-6s and fatty fats, and I don't have a gallbladder anymore. So instead of it being broke down in my body, it turns into inflammation. And when I know that I have inflammation, my symptoms are overheating, internally burning up. I feel like my body temperature is just skyrocketing inside. I will actually sweat, which I never sweat unless I have inflammation. My skin, like, I don't even know if you can tell because I am dealing with some right now, but I actually can see fingerprints in my skin. I just feel really sick. If you've ever had sun poisoning, that's a good comparison for me. Like, if you ever had too much sun or sun poisoning, that's what inflammation feels like to me. Feverish, the chills, feels like a flu coming on, my joints start aching. It's like really bad. So I've really avoided those triggers a lot. When it does get super bad though, I have to go back on Allegra and Pepcid, which I'm happy to celebrate that I'm only on it a couple times a month. Versus every single day. I've weaned off and I've tried to stay away as much as I can and focus on healing myself in this world the natural way, because as we know, antihistamines over time, like hydroxyzine, Allegra, Claritin, Zyrtec, over time, the same issues happen like they do with benzos. So it's oils for me. I cannot do green beans or sweet peas. I've learned by researching them, they're not high in histamine per se, but they do have a chemical that I'm sensitive to. I didn't know foods, chemicals could make you react. They do, especially when your body isn't, getting rid of the excess histamine. They give me if I want a migraine, I'll go eat sweet peas and green beans right now. I will wake up the next day with my head. It's so hard to explain. I will wake up and it's like somebody has a clamp over my brain and they're just twisting and twisting, and the headaches are so bad, like it's days and days of them. I do not eat that no more. I've eliminated a lot of pasta, like not pasta, but like box food, processed foods. I have cut back on pasta because I don't do spaghetti sauce. Spaghetti sauce is a huge trigger for me. It causes massive insomnia for me. I read on tomato sauce, there is actually a chemical in it. I didn't write it down, so bear with me. But there's a chemical in pasta sauce that will actually inflame your body. People who have arthritis, it makes it worse. It can cause joint pain. It also, for me, will make me stay up for days. Like, I'm not kidding. It will literally give me insomnia for days. Like tomato sauce in a jar. You tell somebody this and they're going to be like, Melissa, you're crazy. I promise you I'm not. I promise you, do the homework. It's there. Chemicals in our foods are literally altering people every single day. So I know my triggers with that now. I can do a couple takeout places. I'm happy to announce, if I do takeout, it has to be at Panera. I get a salad and a soup. I'm okay. As long as the salad is the chicken apple Fiji or Fuji, however you want to pronounce it. I don't react to it. I get extra chicken. I remove the tomatoes and I remove the walnuts, because the only nut that I know that I can do okay with right now is almond butter. So thank God for that. I do it in small increments. It is organic and I don't do it every day, but it is something to build some more protein in me. So I can do that, and I can do Longhorn Steakhouse. I get the chicken Parmesan. I do fine with. It's more of like a grilled chicken patty. Not patty, I'm sorry, my brain. It's like a grilled chicken cutlet, but it's got Parmesan, fresh Parmesan, in like a white cream sauce on it. I'm okay with that. I get like mashed potatoes, asparagus. I do fine with that. So I kind of know where I need to stay away from. I don't do any fast foods. I don't do McDonald's. I don't do French fries anymore. Anything that I make is at home. I hate to brag, but my family tells me I make some pretty good French fries. So I'll grab some russet potatoes, make sure they're super clean. You don't know what's been on them, where they've been sitting. I scrub them real good, and I will cut them up and make my own potatoes. I use nothing but olive oil. And I try to get the kind, if I'm going to kind of air fry with it, I try to get the kind that's not as bold tasting. That way you can taste more of like, the potato. And I do a really good olive oil and basil homemade French fry. I love them. They're my favorite. Same thing with burgers. I make all my burgers at home. All my beef, all my chicken is organic. And I only do beef twice a month, because I know beef is, for some people, especially me, I don't have a gallbladder. I try to, eliminate as far as eating heavy red meats. So I have a diet. I've had a diet for a while. Do I feel awesome? Absolutely not. Do I feel a big, huge difference? Absolutely. I know when my histamine's high, what to avoid, where to go. I actually went the other day. I don't know if you guys can tell, my hair is pretty light now. I did go to my hairdresser, first time since 2019. I did react. I'm not going to lie. I did react days later. I did take Allegra and Pepsid before I went. And I did have a little bit of a setback, but nothing compared to what I used to. My nails, I can go get my nails dipped. They do not bother me. My nails, for some reason, they don't. I think it's more of the nail salon, the smells that trigger me more so than getting my nails done. I can tell when things bother my nails. So like, as an example, I used to use those little stickers just to put on, and they affected me so much so that my nails were ripping underneath, like legit ripping. And some of the nail polishes that I use that have like, formaldehydes and things like that in them, they were making my nails actually have like white spots of, I don't want to say it was mold. It was more so like bacteria under my nails. So I go with, when I do paint my toes, because obviously they're not dipped, I do go with a 7 or 12 free nail polish. Even my makeup products are very clean. They're not perfect. Nothing's perfect, but they're way cleaner. I use my app. I've gotten rid of all Bath and Body Works. I do not use their soaps anymore. I do not use their candles anymore. I do burn soy wax melts. I don't seem to have an issue with those. I used to, but they're way cleaner. You don't get all the petroleum and all that stuff burning. And even for my grandson and my son, I don't want them inhaling all that stuff. So a big difference, a big change. If you guys, I know, like I said, my video is all over the place. I'm sorry. I have to actually go and grab my grandson and get him up and get his day started. But I just wanted to come on and tell you guys, I'm here. I see y'all's comments. I will, if you want, I will do my next video on y'all's questions. Please leave them below. I'll go through a bunch of them that I, haven't been able to get back to you guys on. It's easier to do a video for you guys. If you're not a part of my support group, I'll leave a link below for the support group. Will be real, I have not been as active in there as I want to be. I have, my own everyday human issues. So I'm not as active as I would like to be. I've been trying to focus on a business. I, make shirts and cups and inspirational pieces, and I'm just really with the move and everything else. I get very overstimulated very easily. So, I wanted y'all to know I'm still here. I'm still thriving. I'm doing the best that I can every day. Every day is not a good day, but I find some good in the day. But I'm telling y'all, hang in there. Please hang in there. I cannot stress this enough. If anything has saved my life, it's support, it's reaching out, it's learning what's happening to your body so you less are living in fear every day, and reaching out to people who don't trigger you. Limit your time in groups. When you feel overwhelmed, leave. There's no shame in that. Love yourself and know that this is not forever. I'm doing things now, and I have to remind myself every day when I get in those slumps, because I'm human, that I'm doing so much more now that I was able to do 4 years ago. I know 4 years is a long time, but even just looking at baby steps throughout those 4 years, I'm able to do more than I was ever able to do. I was never able to make a video and stare into a ring light that's blinding my vision right now, or doing custom t-shirts. And it may not be a lot to some people, but for me, this is a whole new start. This is different. This is something I wasn't doing or able to do. Baby steps, I was doing bracelets and things like that, but I'm saying, like, just remembering a 7-ingredient recipe for my kids, and I couldn't remember, once I mixed the dry ingredients, what I even put in the bowl, and I would dump because I was so unsure, and my brain wasn't like kicking in and giving me the feedback that I needed. So, just find support. Even if you're not in a group, find somebody you can taper with. Find somebody who's off benzos around the time you are. Don't take in everybody's story as your own, because it can set you back as well, but just be supportive to each other. Be there for one another, and know that you're not alone. There are people every day, whether they're noticeable in group or not, that are struggling with this, and you are not alone. That's the biggest thing that I could take away from this. Find support, and find where you feel that you guys can support each other and lean on each other, instead of making each other fall. Find somebody who's stable for you. It may not be your family. It may be someone in group. It could be someone outside of group, but always know that you are important, and everything that you're going through, somebody else is going through it. You are not alone. Sometimes I've taken myself out of the groups for so long. I'm like, oh wow, I call myself an alien. Like, I'm not normal. I can't just go to the beach and enjoy the sun without feeling sick days later. Like, my body is a human torture chamber sometimes. But at the end of the day, I have to work with my body, not against it. And I have to find things that I can do. And if people don't understand that, whether it's in my family or in the real world, I'm sorry. I have to do for Melissa what is healthy for me and what is not going to overwhelm me and not make me feel so overwhelmed that I'm set back, 2 years again or whatever it may be. So I have setbacks, but I don't try to do things that I know right now are not for me. I'm still not driving. I feel depressed about it. I'm almost 44. We moved. We're in a different city, different state. And I don't drive, but you know what? I'm not going to sit here and beat myself up about it. I'm going to focus on what I can control, such as taking in a t-shirt order or making a cup for somebody special, making a breast care awareness box that I've been working so hard on. So I'm putting my brain in other areas, and I'm using the therapy that I graduated through to do what I know that I can do. And the stuff that I can't either will come in time or it won't. But if I sit and I worry about it, where have I conquered and divided anything? I haven't. I'm just causing myself more worry, more heartache, and making it harder on myself to do anything that I want to do. So like I said, you guys, I know my video is all over. We're almost 37 minutes in. So if you have questions, leave them below. If you want me to make a video on what I eat in a day, or a video on what, new products I'm using, even for men, I'll be happy to do those videos, but I want to be the advocate for you guys, and what you're needing, I want to hear it so I can make those videos for you. I do this for myself, but I also do this for you guys because I know that I needed that support when I was struggling. So like I said, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. We never know the journey someone is going through. And if y'all need anything, please join my support group, and I will link everything down below. Bye.